Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So today we will teach about Abhayadana, Dhammadana, etc. Abhayadana is donating no danger, donating safety. If beings have dangers, such as the danger of government, the danger of thieves, the danger of fire, etc. So, Bodhisattva, by giving his life, trying to save them. So it is a kind of dana, which is we call abhaya dana, no danger donation. So in the Jataka, when we read the Jatakas, so sometimes someone is suffering in front of Bodhisattva. So at that time, what Bodhisattva think is, if I'm near to the one who is suffering, so should not let it be. So I should save. So in front of Bodhisattva's eye, if someone is suffering, Bodhisattva cannot be patient, want to save them. So this kind of dana is called abhaya dana. So next one is dhamma dana, dhamma donation. Dhamma donation. So about that, it is mentioned two types of person. So one is to the one to be Buddha's disciple. So the other is to be Buddha or to be Pajjaka Buddha, private Buddha. So there are two types of listeners. So Bodhisattva will give a different teaching. So first of all, we will learn the dhammas which Bodhisattva teach towards normal disciple or the disciple of Buddha. No, it is not for Pajjaka Buddha, not for Buddha or the Buddha to be. So for the Buddha's disciple. So the Bodhisattva teach Dhamma to the Buddha's disciple about the three refuges, precepts, controlling faculties, knowing a limit about the eating, so practicing to be awakened, 7 purification, 7 Novadhammas, Samatha Vipassana, 7 purification, Bhumaka, 3 Vajja, 6 Abhanya, 4 Bodhisambhida knowledge, analytical knowledge. So Bodhisattva will teach those dhammas towards the disciples. So first of all, we will learn 3 refuges. So usually we recite it. You take 3 refuges. Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Sanඝaṃ saranang gacchāmi. So what is a Buddha? Buddha is a knower who know or who cause something to know. So knowing in what? Knowing in Dhamma or especially Four Noble Truths. So what is a Buddha? Buddha is the one who know the Dhamma or who cause the Dhamma to know his disciples. It is a Buddha. So to know Buddha, we need to know the Dhamma because the Buddha is the one who know the Dhamma. So in the Buddha time, although you know or don't know Dhamma, it is quite okay. You go and approach Buddha, pay respect, or take a retreat. It is a real Buddha. Although you don't know anything, it is okay. But nowadays, we need to know who is the Buddha. What is the Buddha? So statue is different form. Numa statue or Chinese statue or like that. Because of this, what is Buddha? We need to know. So the Buddha is the one who knows the Dhamma. So if so, we need to know the Dhamma. What is the Dhamma? So there are 10 kinds of Dhamma mentioned in the teaching. 4 Magga, 4 Phala, and the Nibbana. Next one, to get Magga, Phala, Nibbana, need teaching, learning. So altogether, 10. Those 10 Dhammas are called Dhamma. Dhamma Sranam Gicchami. So the Buddha is the one who knows those Dhamma. So what is the Sangha? To know Sangha also, we need to know the Dhamma. Sangha is the one who has practiced the Dhamma, who improved in Dhamma. So it is Sangha is noble persons, no normal bhikkhus, noble bhikkhus. So those are Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So for those who practice Dhamma, first of all, have to practice Sila, have to get concentration, have to practice Vipassana. In Vipassana, need to discern Rupa as a Rupa, Nama as a Nama, Gaussian effect as a Gaussian effect. After that, seeing arising and perishing. So finally, we see Nibbana. So when he sees Nibbana, he understands there is the Dhamma, which is called Magga, Phala, Nibbana and teaching, because he has practiced those things. So by following the teaching, now seeing Nibbana as an object, he has a Magga knowledge, creation knowledge. Because of this, about the teaching, about the Magga knowledge, Phala knowledge, and Nibbana as an object, he knows everything. So because of knowing in Dhamma, so he can understand there is a Buddha who can teach the Dhamma. So about that, no doubt. In the same way, he himself, as a noble person, he can easily accept there is a noble person who improved in Dhamma. So he can easily accept the Sangha. There is a Sangha. So because of this, the Buddha told Pandavakali, if you see the Dhamma, you will see Buddha. So those 3 refuges cannot be separated. People may say, I will pay respect to Buddha and Dhamma, but not to the Sangha. So maybe with the Sangha, they have some problem. So one thing is that they don't understand what is the Sangha. Sangha is just a noble person. So the meaning of Sangha we need to learn is combination, combining. So the group by what? Group by morality, group by view, rule and view. So as a rule, it must be the same. Briefly, we may say 2 to 7 rules. Every noble person practice 2 to 7 rules. So view must be the same about 4 noble truths, 7 enlightenment factors, 8 noble paths. They have the same view. So about the materiality, mentality, cause and effect, about the arising and perishing, all they have the same view. So combined by the same view and the same rule, some people may ask, maybe they have attainment, Sotapanna, maybe Sakadagami, etc. Can they be Sangha? They cannot be Sangha. They may have the same view with the noble person, but they don't have the same rule. Because of this, the living birth cannot be Sangha, cannot combine into the Sangha. So how about ordinary bhikkhus? So ordinary bhikkhus, they have the same rule, but not stable. They're trying to follow, sometimes may break. In the same way, they have the same view generally, but not strongly. So trying to be the same view, they have to think like a Noble Vasa's thinking. So they have to learn what is the Noble Vasa's view or practice. So by paying respect to normal bhikkhu, not breaking the real refuges, but to take the real refuges, Sangha means a Noble Vasa. Noble Vasa. So what is the Buddha? The Buddha is the one who knows the Dhamma. What is it, the Dhamma? Dhamma is 10 kinds. 4 Magga, 4 Phala, Nibbana as the object. To reach those need teaching. All these are Dhamma. So the Sangha is who improve in Dhamma, Noble Bhikkhus. So what is a Sarana Gacchami? Gacchami here means approach, associate, and know. So I know the Buddha as a refuge. I approach the Buddha as a refuge. I associate with the Buddha as a refuge. Refuge means to manage good things, to remove bad things. So if you follow Buddha Dhamma Sangha, so you can be good. You will not be bad. So it must be sure. So approaching Buddha is not just a friend, not just a parents, as a refuge. So very strong word. They cannot do any mistakes. So Buddha will not do any mistakes if you dependent on him. So you can listen fully. Only need to understand what the Buddha means. In the same way, the Dhamma, you can follow fully. So 5 precepts. So breaking 5 precepts is not good. So practicing 5 precepts is good. You can follow that very surely. So you will improve. You will not decline. It is very sure. In the same way, the Dhamma, you're trying to get a Magga, Phala, Nibbana, you're trying to follow Buddha's teaching, it will not be wrong. In the same way, Noble Vasa, not like an ordinary bhikkhu. Ordinary bhikkhu, they have defilements. Based on defilements, they may do some mistake when the defilements arise. So sometimes some may instruct, some do wrong. So, but Noble bhikkhu is not like that. They cannot be wrong. They always are correct. So they don't have defilements. Especially, they will not instruct wrongly, especially intentionally. So because of this, we can approach Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha as refuge. We can associate with the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha as a refuge. We can know the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha as refuge. So it is a taking in the refuges. So taking in the refuges is a what? Which factor, which element in the mind? Sometimes we need to learn the word as element. So if we say taking in the refuges, how to take? So should I pay respect to Chinese statue or Myanmar statue? So how to pay respect? So we may see just actions. Action can be different. Salute or salutation can be different. Statue can be different. Recitation can be different. So in those cases, what is the taking in the refuges? Do we clear? So in a teaching, usually we mention as the elements. So what is the element in the mind when one takes the refuges? So number one is a faith. Number one definition is a faith. So if you have a faith in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, so you are taking in three refuges. For example, in the Buddha time, so you don't know what is the Buddha, what he knows, but approach him, you believe in Buddha, so it is taking in three refuges. But because it is a real Buddha. But nowadays, so we don't have chance to approach a Buddha. We have to approach a statue or body tree like that. So just a faith, not enough, I think. So another definition in the teaching, faith with wisdom. Faith with wisdom. So all wisdom based on faith. So it is together with the understanding what is the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, and believe in it. So it is taking into refuges. So together with the wisdom, it is okay. But just a faith, what is that? So if you really find noble Sangha, noble Dharma, noble Buddha, so just a faith, it is enough. You don't understand much, but the one you believe is correct. If so, surely you will have a benefit. Like nowadays, you may approach someone, you believe in that person. So if that person is correct, right, you are believing will be beneficial. So just a faith is also okay. But nowadays, no real Buddha is around. Sangha, we are not sure which one is noble person, not obviously having. So because of this, we need to know. We need to have a knowledge. What is the Buddha? What is the Dharma and the Sangha? So keeping in the mind those qualities, if we pay respect, it is having faith with the wisdom. It is taking in three refuges. So these are triple gem we call, even gem is precious. We don't think it is very little or it is small. Although we are doing it small or little, it will be very beneficial because those are gems. So it is about the taking in three refuges. So if we have a faith, we have wisdom based on faith, it is taking in three refuges. So some people approach Siddhartha or Buddha, so as relatives. So may pay respect, but their mind is thinking as relatives. If so, it is not taking in three refuges. So the Buddha, before Buddha, he, as a bodhisattva life, he taught many educations to many people. So those people pay respect the Buddha because of their teacher, especially worldly teacher. So they pay respect, but they don't take the refuges. So taking in the refuges is paying respect as superior person who can manage to be good, who can manage to avoid bad deeds, bad things. So if you pay respect, that person will high up your morality or your karma. So karma will increase, good karma will increase. So by thinking in this way, someone pay respect to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, it is taking in three refuges. In the same way, about the breaking in three refuges. If someone pay respect to other religion, other teachers outside the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, because of danger, because of relatives, because of gains, because of relatives' practice. So it is not breaking three refuges. But if someone pay respect another teacher or another religion as a superior person, as a superior Dharma, if so, it is a breaking in three refuges. So if someone take three refuges, so those people's mind increase wholesomeness. So powerfully many times. So because of this, taking three refuges is very important. So Bodhisattva will teach about the three refuges, especially towards those who want to be Buddha's disciple. Next one, morality. So Bodhisattva will teach morality. What is the 5 precepts, 8 precepts, 10 precepts, and what is the Bhikkhu's precepts? Will teach. So next one, will teach controlling faculties. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. How to control, how to restrain. So we connect the objects with the eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body, and mind. So because of context, we have a wholesome, unwholesome mind. Unwholesome mind. Because of this, we should not accept every object which will come into our mind through the eye, ear, nose, etc. So we should choose object. Which object is suitable for us? Which object is not suitable for us? Because of this, the practitioners usually secluded the place in the forest. If we cannot see unsuitable object, usually the mind is quiet. So not bad. So one thing is to avoid unsuitable object. So we may check about the visible object, sound, smell, taste, touching, and thinking. We will not allow every seeing, every listening, every thinking, etc. So one thing is avoiding the object. Another thing is our attitude. So our attention. So when we see, how we should see, what kind of mind we should have. So it is called the proper attention. So with the perception of nature, impermanence, dukkha, suffering, anatta, non-self, marana, death, perception of death, perception of disgusting about the food, perception of undelightedness, unhappiness about the any world. Those are right perceptions, right attitude. So when we see, we should not note which will produce defilements. So male or female, when we see, normally we may see how is the eye, eyebrow, or lips, mouth, movement, dancing, singing. We may like it. So if we see in this way, if we listen in this way, defilements will arise. So we should not mark some details about the man and female form. So what we should see as a nature, as a dukkha, as a anatta, as a non-self, as a formlessness, as a death. So as a materiality, mentality, cause and effect, arising and perishing, it is okay. So about controlling faculty, one is we should choose two. One is the object, another is our attitude. So to choose objects, it is easier to have a good mind. You stay away in the forest. So it is better. Sometimes to choose attitude is not easy. But as a livable life, I have to stay in a city with a family, with the friends. Not much chance to choose object. Have to see, have to listen. So you're trying to choose your attitude. How we should think about that. So right perception mentioned in the teaching, perception of impermanence, perception of suffering, etc. We should hold those perceptions. We should learn how to think about the nature, how to think about the dukkha, about the non-self, about the permanence. So the Buddha taught a lot about those things we should learn. So if our attitude is right, if our object is correct, so our mind will be peaceful, will have a lot of wholesomeness. So Bodhisattva taught restraining faculties, controlling faculties towards people who want to be Buddha's disciple. It is a kind of dana. We call Dhamma dana. So Dhamma donation. Next one is knowing a limit about the food. Knowing a limit about the food. So it is also mentioned in many places. It is also important. So we have to connect with the food every day. So if we don't know the limits, we will have unwholesomeness. We will have unbenefit. So knowing a limit about the food is good. So one thing is about the finding food, especially for the bhikkhus. Have to go Bainabada, have to get the food. So when we find the food, so we have a limit. So we have some way, some proper way to find the food, to get the food. So we cannot use anyhow. So by associating with people as a lay people association, we should not do. By doing a fortune teller, by curing disease, so people will pay respect, will donate. In those ways, should not, as a bhikkhu, should not earn, should not find the food. So there are some rules. So we need to find the food properly by going in Painapada, or by teaching, by learning, by meditating, by having good morality. So we can find the food in this way. So we should not use improper ways. So it is a knowing limit about the finding of food. So next one is accepting food. Accepting food. So people based on their faith may donate a lot, may donate very little. So we should know our limit, how much we should accept. So if we know our limits, so we can maintain people's faith. If there is a faith of people in people, we can get everything we need in the traditional life. So it will support us to improve our practice. So some people less faith, a lot of property. So based on faith, we have to accept. Some people less property, but a lot of faith, we should accept based on their property. Some people both a lot, faith and property a lot, but we should know our limits. What kind of person we are, staying alone or staying with audience. So many samnera or bhikkhus. So based on our limits, we should accept. So if we know we have this understanding, we can maintain people's faith. So if there is a faith, we can get everything. So it is a knowing limits about the accepting food. Next one, knowing limits about the eating, in the eating time. So about the food, some are very delicious, some are not delicious. So, but sometimes, although it is delicious, not proper for our body. Although it is not delicious, it is proper our body. So, in the eating time, we need to know limit. What is suitable for us? So, how much we should eat? Sometimes, stomach is full. We still wishing to eat. So we need to reflect. So not to have overeating, but sometimes the food is not delicious. We don't want to eat, but we need energy. Stomach is not full yet. So we may need to push to eat, to be enough, not to be weak. So not to be hungry. If we're hungry, our minds are not stable. So in this way, the Buddha instructs reflecting in ways. So about the eating food, how we should think. People may understand the Badi Sankayoni, so Paina Padam Badi Sewami. So and we use this food with the proper attention, not for playing, not for amusement, not for strength. Just to maintain this body, to practice this body, to be balanced, to be comfort, not to have a fault, etc. So this reflecting will change our mind slowly to go to right direction. So it is about the knowing the food, knowing a limit about the food. It is also important. So some people, not because of not knowing limit about the eating, may be very, very fat. Some people may be very weak. Some people have a lot of disease. So it is a problem. It is a daily connection. So Bodhisattva's education, it is also included. So next one is practicing to be awakened. Practicing to be awakened. So in the Bodhisattva's Dhamma teaching. So how do we awaken? So in the daytime, by standing, walking, sitting, should clean our mind, not lying down. At night, we should divide the night into three: first watch, second watch, and third watch. First watch and third watch, we should stay the same as daytime. By walking, standing, sitting, should clean our mind. So in the middle watch, we should sleep. It is to be awakened. We should sleep with mindfulness. So sleeping with lying down in the right side. And so one leg, upper legs beyond the other legs a little, not to press bone to bone. So not to have a painful, to be concentrated. So with the meditation, with the mindfulness, sleep. Also having perception of getting up, waking up. So which time I will get up? With this perception, should sleep. So this is a sleeping way in the teaching. So it is to be awakened. So when we read the Buddha's daily activity, so something different is in the daytime, after lunch, the Buddha may lie down if needed. So mentioned if needed. So this habit have. So some meditation teachers also may instruct after lunch to sleep, to snap, to have snap. So yeah, this is some advice, some way of staying of the Buddha or teacher's instruction. But about the practicing to awaken, daytime, didn't lie down. Walking, standing, sitting, they will stay, they will clean their mind. In the same way, first watch and last watch of night. So need to stay the same way. In the middle of night, with mindfulness, with the perception of getting up or waking up, so just sleep. So it is to be awakened. So for the normal people, maybe that they are very tired. For some people, they may need to sleep more. It is not sure. For the meditators, usually not much jobs they do. So their mind also always staying with meditation, especially people who improved in Dhamma. So the mind is peaceful, body is peaceful. Because of this, they don't need much sleeping. If really needed, meditating time may sleep. So because of this, sleeping with a little sleeping, not much sleeping will not be a problem. Another thing is, although they don't sleep, they have a good object. They have a good mind. I think if someone, although they are awakened, although they are not sleep, they don't sleep, if they have a good object, if they can stay with a peaceful mind, so although they are not sleeping, will not be problem. So cannot sleep, but have a bad mind. It can be a problem. So for those who has a good mind, who has a peaceful mind, although they don't have enough sleep, will not be a problem. So practicing to be awakened also one kind of education which Bodhisattva teach towards the people who wish to be Buddha's disciple. Next one, 7 noble dhammas. 7 noble dhammas. 7 noble dhammas is faith, saddha, mindfulness, sati, hiri, moral shame to do evil things, uttapa, fear to do evil things, viriya, effort, sutta, knowledge, panya, wisdom, altogether 7. Those are called noble dhamma, noble persons dhammas. So another similar thing is noble properties. Noble properties. Instead of knowledge, generosity. It is also noble properties. Next one is instead of sati, sila. Sila is a noble properties. Yeah, those are noble properties. A little bit different. Sila, sati, sutta, chaga. It is a difference. Means that those are noble dhammas, noble properties. So noble people will collect those properties, those dhammas, trying to have a saddha, trying to increase the saddha, faith. What is a faith? Usually translate belief or faith or confidence. So believing in right things. If someone believes in wrong things, this is not saddha. It is a miccha dimokha, wrong decision. If someone believing in right things, it is called saddha. If someone have doubt about the right things, it is a vicikicca, or doubt, cannot decide right or wrong. So if someone has faith, the mind is clear, pure. So because of this, faith is like a ruby of universal monarch. So if the universal monarch puts that ruby into the water becomes purified, can be drunk. So in the same way, if we have a faith in our mind, the mind is clear. So we still we are practicing in sila, taking meditation, sometimes tired. But if we have a faith, the mind is clear. So the mind wishes to do. In the same way, focusing on the breath, some people don't want to do. It is very tired. But the people with the faith, they want to do. They believe in that. It is good. It is beneficial. So for doing those jobs, the mind is clear. So because of this, saddha is like a ruby of universal monarch. And next one is saddha is like a seed. Like a seed. We have roots. We have a sprout. In the same way, the one who has faith will practice sila as a root. Will have samadhi and panya as a sprout. So because of this, saddha is like seeds. Saddha is like a hand. So if someone has hand, can take everything. So in the same way, if someone has a faith, can take wholesomeness. By practicing sila, they will have a merit. By donating, they will have wholesomeness. By meditating, by being in respect, by listening in Dhamma, by talking in Dhamma, so they will have a lot of wholesomeness. So saddha is to take wholesomeness, like a hand, which can take properties. So in the Buddha time, Avalokiteshvara asked Buddha, what is the man's wealth, which is superior? So the Buddha said, Saddha is superior wealth of man. So if we have a wealth, if we have money, whichever we wish to get, can get. So cannot be poor, can solve problem of being poor. In the same way, if we have a faith, what kind of person we want to be? So do you want to be Anathapanika? Have a way? Or do you want to be Visakha? Do you want to be the king of Deva? Do you want to be Bodhisattva? Or do you want to be Vajika Buddha? So everything mentioned in the teaching, the way of the king of Sakka, the way of Bhanisariputra, the way of Buddha, so the way of Visakha, everything mentioned. What kind of person we want to be if we have a faith? It is possible to be. So what is the cause of Deva? The Buddha mentioned. What is the cause of Brahma? The Buddha mentioned. What is the cause of Nirvana? The Buddha mentioned. If we have faith in those things, we can get everything. So Saddha can produce the one to be rich man. What kind of jewel do you want to get? So jewel means 37 enlightenment factors. So cannot be poor in quality. So people will respect that quality. So those who has a faith, everywhere they go, so people will pay respect, will donate. So because of this, Saddha is like superior wealth of man. Because of this, noble people trying to collect Saddha by practicing in Sila, by practicing according to Dhamma. They're trying to get Saddha by learning Dhamma, by listening in Dhamma. They're trying to get faith. By associating with the noble people, by staying in the proper place, by paying attention properly, they're trying to collect this property, this Dhamma of noble people. It is called Saddha. So next one is Sati, mindfulness. That's a noble Dhamma. So it is a noble Dhamma. So mindfulness is remembering the right objects, especially meditation objects. So we should always think rightly. So whatever objects coming in our mind, whatever things experiencing us. So anyway, how we should think. What is the proper way to think? What objects to remember? So that remembrance is needed. So anytime, anywhere, we should remember. We should try to remember the good object with a good attitude. So sometimes we cannot change the world, but we can change our mind, how we should think. So we may encounter disease, we may encounter difficulties. So we may have some problems, but still we can choose. So we can learn those attitudes, those objects, which is proper to have for us, which is proper to remember. So we should learn those things. We should establish to be mindful, to have a good memory, good remembrance. So in the Buddha time, so practitioners always keeping in their mind towards the right object. Even in Vajrayana times, from here to that tree, or from here to that stone, I will go with my meditation, with my object, trying to remember. In between, if they forget, come back and go again. So if they lose mindfulness, they lose a sati. They want to have a breakfast and lunch. So in this way, they're trying to increase their mindfulness. So it is very important. If we remember our object, we can learn everything. So not only for the Dhamma, for the worldly things, also we can learn. We should remember all the time what we are learning. So we should think all the time. It is mindfulness. So in the teaching, so how we walk, how we sit, or lying down, seeing in front, seeing beside. So stretching and bending, eating. So the Buddha teaches in detail how we should think. So how we should remember. It is a mindfulness. So it is a noble people's Dhamma. So another thing is a noble people's property, sila. So about the sila, noble people are trying to collect. So if lay people sila, they're trying to collect. They have faith in sila. So sometimes the bodhisattva is in animal life. So even in animal life, usually they have to earn, they have to get food by killing others. Even in those life, bodhisattva are trying to practice morality as a knowledgeable person. So because of this, we are a human. We have a lot of choice by practicing in sila. So we should survive. We may be able to survive. So may not be like other people's thinking. So some people's practicing a 5 precepts is very difficult in a human life or something like that. May have difficulties, but may have ways. There are a lot of people who are practicing in sila. So we should try, we should choose those kind of life. We should collect noble people's property. So life is not stable, property is not stable. So morality is more stable than those things. If we have a good morality, we will not suffer. So because of this, sila is a noble people's property. Good people or knowledgeable people's property. So we should collect. And next one is a shame or fear to do evil things. So there are a lot of people nowadays who didn't shame or fear. So they don't learn about the fear. They don't learn about the shameness. So, but we should. If we do evil, it is shameful. Usually, we may need to do it in a hidden place, but someone is seeing. So, at least we will know ourselves. So, in English, maybe conscience. I think I'm not sure. So, we need to have shameness or fear to do evil things. We need to respect ourselves. We need to respect fellow practitioners, good people surrounding. So we will know ourselves. Other people may know. In the noble person's world, it is open. In the practitioner's world, it is open. Someone can see something. So because of this, no seclusion, no privacy about their doing evil. Because of this, by respecting our own self, by respecting others, we should avoid evil. So it is good. Respecting our own self, it is good to avoid evil. Respecting others, it is also good to avoid evil. So because of this, the Buddha said, Hiri Bala, Ottappa Bala, energy of shameness, energy of fear. If we have fear, it is a kind of energy to avoid evil. If we have a shameness, It is a kind of energy to avoid evil. We need to be shameful. We need to have a fear for doing evil. It is called Hiri and Uddhapa. So those two dhammas are called Loka Dhamma. Loka Pala, protection of the world. If people are not shameful, so cannot protect the world. So human life will be like an animal, may not consider everything. So whatever they want to do, they will do. They are not shame, they are not fear. So human life will be like an animal life. So because of this, these two dhammas are called Lokapala, the world protection. So another name is Deva Dhamma. The Dhamma to be Deva. Those who has these two will be Deva. That means. So noble person collect those dhammas, those properties. So noble people don't dare to do evil easily. So next one is effort. Effort. So making effort. So yeah, this is quite obvious. Everyone is trying, but what is the right effort? We call it in Bali Samappadana. Samappadana, right effort. Right effort means to remove, to avoid arising unwholesomeness. To remove arising wholesomeness. To have unarising wholesomeness. To increase arising wholesomeness. So altogether 4. These are right efforts. So, for example, for the unwholesomeness, actually, for the long samsara, we have done all. Nothing is new. But in this life, if we consider, so some we know yet done. Some people never drink alcohol. Some people never killing, never stealing in this life. So should not avoid those things. Should not do those things. Something arising before. So arising akusala is obvious. So something we have done in the past in this life. So we're trying to remove, not to do those again. So because of this, the Buddha teaches, if someone happen to do unwholesomeness, not to do a kananga, not to have a desire to do evil. Some people now know yet to. Later, he will know about me, or she will know about me. They keep it in mind to do evil, but they should not do. So trying it, need to try again and again. Sometimes the defilements are arising. It is a kind of challenging, a kind of fighting. So the mind want to do, but the knowledge don't want to do. So have to fight. So not only just one time, we need to fight again and again, not to have a desire to do evil. So in the same way for the wholesomeness. So something we have done in this life. So for example, donation, morality, we have done, but we need to do again and again. So not just one time. So like people may go office again and again every day. So in the same way, eating and doing again and again. So like that, we need to do wholesomeness again and again. So we need to reach a good place again and again. We need to get a good result again and again. So like that, but it is a very tiring, but unavoidable. If we stay in the worldly condition, so everything is arising and falling, arising and vanishing. So we have to do again and again. So to stop that suffering, we need to have a more kusala. Kusala of jhana, maybe someone not yet gained. So trying to get jhana kusala. trying to get path fruition knowledge, kusala. So if we can get path and fruition, especially path knowledge, we call supramundane wholesomeness. So after gaining those wholesomeness, we don't need to do anymore. So we are really retired. So we have done what should be done. So because of this, to avoid arising unwholesomeness, to remove arising wholesomeness, to get arising kusala wholesomeness, to increase arising wholesomeness. So to increase arising wholesomeness. So this kind of effort is called samapadana, right effort. So everyone can produce their effort. Also, they have limited. So but anyway, we should choose which kind of job we should do. So not to lose our effort. So it is a noble dharma. So noble people trying to collect those things. Next one is knowledge. We need to learn Buddha's teaching, especially. So it is also noble dharma. Next one is wisdom, especially may refer to vipassana knowledge, vipassana thinking. Also, as a noble property, we need to accumulate generosity. So we may earn money righteously. We may donate. So those are noble dharmas, noble properties, which is one of teaching of Bodhisattva towards people who wish to be Buddha's disciple. So now 7 noble dharma is finished. So time is up. We should stop. If there is a question, you can ask. After listening your question, I will know whether or not I can answer.
Padame Siaro, Padame, for a Bhante, for a lay person, is it sufficient to focus on doing a lot of dana and meditation?
So for lay person, doing dana is actually their job. So not like bhikkhus or monks. Because bhikkhus are not much property they have usually. Their life is different. With the little things they stay. So although they want to do dana, maybe as a property, their dana is quite small. So as a little, based on their ability, doing in dana is okay. This is seem to be lay people's job. For the meditation, so yeah, lay people life is limited. So not like a bhikkhu life. So for the bhikkhu life, meditation is more important. So, but people are different. Some people can manage their life very easily. So they have a lot of time for the surviving. They are very easy. So if they have time, they can do meditation. So in the Buddha time, the Buddha instructs lay person named Janakābhivaṃsa, rich man, who is supporting Buddha and Sangha. So the Buddha instructs, you try to practice to get paviveka sukha, happiness, dependent on seclusion. So that means that you get a first and second jhana. So the Buddha instructed him. So because of this, some lay people can do. Meditation is good to do. But as a lay people, some people are very busy, cannot manage. So they have to do very limited. But for some who can manage their life easily, they should do. Meditation is the best job. So why you want to do some other jobs? Which is less which has less money, less payment. Okay.
Thank you, Sayadaw. The next question is, Name Sayadaw, if we do not have faith, should we do the dana? If we do such dana, do we get the merits of offering?
So, if you usually, so in the teaching, if you don't have faith, but you do dana, maybe because of something, so they say it can be rich, but will not be beautiful because the mind is not clear. Maybe because of responsibility, because of humanity or something, you may donate, but not willingly. That means in the mind not so clear, that will produce unclear body. So you may be rich man, but not will not be clear, will not be beautiful. It is the Sapuvisadana Sutta.
There's a second question. If donor has no faith or not enough faith, and they do dana to ordained person with disrespectful and proud mind, should the ordained person receive such dana? Dadu, dadu, dadu.
For the ordained person, no problem to accept those things if they do dana. But we have some responsibility to approach those with faith. So it is a good behavior for the bhikkhus. So, but as accepting dana accordingly, it is no problem. We can donate. We can accept if we didn't do anything wrong with those person.
Thank you, Sayadaw.
Vandami Sayadaw, because of body health condition is not good, every night he has to take sleeping pill in order to sleep. So how to overcome this problem?
So we don't know background conditions, but so if we have a problem in the mind, so we should stay rightly in the right place, in the right environment. What we can help, what we can suggest about that is we need to stay in a peaceful place with practitioners, if possible, to approach them. So stay rightly. Rightly means practicing in sila, so meditating, staying peacefully. So after some times, the mind is peaceful. So at that time, you may be able to sleep. Although cannot sleep, the mind can stay with a good object. So not much problem. No need to worry, although not sleeping much. So have this kind of conditions that we know. So some maybe related to body or something. We don't know that. Generally, if someone has a lot of unwholesomeness, not just a short, longer time, so the mind may have something problem. So if so, before being alone, we should stay rightly. We should stay correctly in the right place. If so, may not have those problems. If there is no question.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sayadaw, for today's your Dhamma teaching. Dadu, dadu, dadu.
Repeat after me. Idame Bonyam
Idame Bonya
Ananta
Libanata
Pachayo
Pachayo
Odu
Odu
Mama Bonya Bhagam
Mama Bonya Baga
Ava Sadanam
Tabatadana
Azemi
Pazemi
Vedabe
Metabe
Medamam
Metamam
Nyabhagam
Bonya Baga
Abandu
Labandu
Dadu Dadu
Dadu Dadu